Good evening and welcome to the news at 7:30, making the headlines tonight. The Anambra urged to avoid anti-peace activities to ensure free and fair elections. State government threatens to revoke land without regularized documents. Army repels Boko Haram attack in Yobe, and on the foreign scene, Paris apartment fire claims lives, injures many. My name is Chidimma Arangwa, and now the detail of the news. The Anambra have been urged to maintain the prevalent peace in the state by avoiding all forms of anti-peace practice during and after the forthcoming general elections. The state deputy governor, Dr. Nkemokeke, was speaking during a church service at St. John's Anglican Church, Ihite, in Orumba South Council area, during the outing service of the family of the late Lady Camfort Okonkwo, who was the mother of the Commissioner for Environment, Architect Mike Okonkwo. Correspondent Emmanuel Okonkwo now reports.
Deputy Governor Keke, who emphasized on the need to maintain the peace and tranquility being enjoyed in the state by the residents, charged the people to contribute their quota by eschewing acts that could truncate stability. Dr. Keke also used the opportunity to call on the Anambra to vote wisely in this month's general elections for continuity, as according to him, wrong choice made by the people during the elections would affect them negatively.
Let's continue with the peace and stability we have in our state.
Earlier in a sermon, the parish priest of St. John's Anglican Church, Ihite, Reverend Samuel Ifezue, who spoke on the topic, Gains of Godly Wisdom, described divine wisdom as tool with which Christians can conquer the numerous challenges of life. Reverend Ifezue pointed out that it is only through God that sound and true wisdom comes, and charged people to pray for wisdom to excel and conquer by abiding in God and reading the Bible always.
We need to listen to God's instruction, that is wisdom. When God instructs us, do we listen? Do you? We need to listen to God. The moment we fail to listen to God, the consequences will bear it ourselves.
The service featured special thanksgiving by the Okonkwo family, praises and worship by the choir, as well as special prayers for divine peace in Nigeria. From St. John's Anglican Church, Ihite, I am Emmanuel Okonkwo, reporting for ABS News.
The Caring Family Enhancement Initiative Cafe, an NGO of the wife of Governor of Anambra State, Dr. Mrs. Ebele Chukwuobiano, is inviting persons with physical challenges who were measured for prosthetic limbs last year, November, otherwise known as artificial limbs, to come for fitting. Opportunities also open for interested persons who want to measure their sizes before fitting. The exercise will commence on Wednesday, 6th of this month, at Professor Dora Akonyele Women Development Center, Oka, and will end on Friday, 8th of February 2019. It will start by 7 o'clock in the morning and end by 5 o'clock in the evening of each day. The Ministry of Lands has warned that all plots of land at government layouts whose owners refuse to regularize their documents will be revoked. The Commissioner for Lands, Mr. Nnamdi Onokoba, who issued the warning in Oka, advised all allottees who applied for revalidation but are yet to regularize their plots to urgently sell or have them revoked. He further disclosed that the construction of access roads in Trans and Kisi layouts has commenced to make life more meaningful for allottees in the area. The Commissioner announced that enumeration of houses in all layouts across the state will soon commence to ensure proper documentation. Mr. Onokoba further said that the ministry official will soon commence the exercise in layouts such as GRA, Fege, Nupe Settlement, Harbor, Akmaka, Omaba, Awada, Newi, Idemili, among others, and advised residents of those layouts to cooperate with the enumerators, as according to him, the exercise is in their best interest. The Oye market of Umuawolo, Agongbala Square, Mbaupo, and Civic Center Nebo were filled to capacity as Abga faithfuls, ward chairmen, stakeholders, youth and party officers were on ground to witness the empowerment program of the senator representing Anambra Central Senatorial District, Chief Victor Ume, to 16 indigent women. Senator Ume, who made the empowerment with cash of 50,000 naira each during his campaign rally, said it is for them to support their businesses and improve their standard of living. Correspondent Emmanuel Chiwata was there for the ABS, and his report is taken from our studios.
Over the package, Senator Ume, who urged women to manage the resources in fending for themselves, noted that his interest to contest the upcoming National Assembly election is to ensure that overall interest of the Igbo is well represented. He also said that his skills acquisition training to over 150 youths and scholarship awards have made significant impacts to the lives of youths who are brilliant but ordinarily could not have the chances to acquire education, and pledged to do more if re-elected.
Constituency project for classroom block, scholarship,
Speaking, the Deputy Speaker of the State House of Assembly, Barrister Harford Oseke, maintained that APGA is a strong party of the Igbo and should not be handled with kid gloves or allowed to go wane, calling on the electorate to vote all APGA candidates throughout the election. In a remark, the President General of Umuawolo, Chief Ike Nkala, and the Women Affairs Director, Senator Victor Ume Support Group, Mrs. Ifoma Afuekelo, called on the people to support those who have worked tirelessly for development of the Igbo, noting that Senator Ume deserves to be re-elected into the red chambers.
Distinguished Senator Victor Ume, Right Honorable Nebe, they are all candidates of Africa, and no one to think Anambra, locally.
While thanking the benefactor for his kind gesture, Mrs. Chinenye Ekunife, Mrs. Chinyere Nwafo, and Mrs. Charity Odim, who were part of the beneficiaries, showered encomiums on the senator for his charitable works and pledged their total support to ensuring victory for the senator. The climax of the tour was the endorsement of Senator Ume by the youth of the Igbo community.
Thank you, Emmanuel, for that report. As part of efforts at maintaining the relative peace enjoyed by the state residents, the Commissioner of Police, Anambra State Command, Mr. Garibal Mar, has commissioned a police post located within the verdict of Guard Complex at Ukbuko, Owerri Road, Onitsha. Correspondent Ogachukwu KK has the report.
Omar commended the Chief Executive Officer of Verdict of God Complex, who single-handedly built the police outstation. The police commissioner assured the CEO of the complex that those in charge of the facility will do everything humanly possible to protect the interests of the complex and the community and make sure that criminals and miscreants in Ukbuko are totally eradicated. He advised people of the area to always respect law and order.
Of the officers and men of the Nigerian Police Force and the Chief Executive Officer, Chairman of both this group of companies who built this beautiful edifice, we pray that Almighty God will protect this facility, protect the people who built it, and the community who are here to witness this historic event. And may the Lord guide them, protect those guys that are going to work on these facilities. May Almighty God give them the wisdom of Solomon so that they can be fair to everyone that comes for the services of the police.
Earlier in his welcome address, the donor, Mr. Bonaventure Okafor, said that they contrasted the idea of constructing a modern police post within the complex to secure the conducive environment and to serve as a token and contribution to police force to enable them maintain law and order within the market and environs. He noted that since the arrival of CP Omar, Anambra State has been the most peaceful state in Nigeria and charged him to continue his good work.
It is with immense joy and gratitude that I, on behalf of the board and management of Verdict of God Complex, welcome the Commissioner of Police, Anambra State, and his entire team to the commissioning of police posts located within the complex. There is no answer of that since you arrived in Anambra State, the state has been acknowledged as the most peaceful state in Nigeria.
The traditional ruler of Okpoko community, Igwe Benjamin Mofnaya, lauded Chief Okafor for such a crucial initiative as a way to curb corruption and criminality in the community and state at large. From Okpoko, Ogochukwu Okeke reporting for ABS News.
And still to come on the news tonight, Army repels Boko Haram attack in Yobe, and on the foreign scene, Paris apartment fire claims lives, injures many. The news returns after this timeout. Please join us again.
In 2018, a total of 5.320 trillion naira was collected as taxes by the Federal Inland Revenue Service, FIRS. This is the highest ever collected as federal taxes in Nigeria. Taxes have become an important source of revenue, enabling the government to provide greater infrastructural developments in our country. Tax revenues enable government to provide more roads, more railways, more bridges, more housing, more schools, more students in schools, more hospitals, more security, and generate more power. Because Nigeria deserves more. Only your taxes can make all our dreams come true. This message is from the Federal Inland Revenue Service, FIRS. It pays to pay your tax.
Troops of 159 Battalion Forward Operational Sector 2 Operation Lafayette Dole have repelled attempted terrorist incursion into the border town of Kanama Yunsari local government area of Yobe State. The Acting Assistant Director, Army Public Relations, Lieutenant Njoka Irabo, made this known in a press statement issued in Damaturu. Irabo said the terrorists came in and started shooting sporadically, and vigilant troops of the FOB engaged them, and the terrorists were overwhelmed by the superior firepower of the gallant troops and the well-coordinated air support from the air component of Operation Lafayette Dole, which resulted in inflicting casualty on the terrorists, while some of them retreated with gunshot wounds. He said the resilient troops have embarked on hot pursuit of the fleeing surviving attackers towards the Niger Republic border. In our business news, the Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, has urged the stakeholders in the capital market to take steps to attract and retain both local and foreign investments to stimulate economic growth and develop critical infrastructure necessary for the country's development. Acting Director General SEC, Ms. Mary Uduk, who gave this charge, noted that in stimulating investment, relevant players in the capital market include that SEC, the Nigeria Stock Exchange, NSE, and other key stakeholders should provide investors with accurate, authoritative, and independent information to help them make objective capital allocation. Ujek stated that providing information to investors will enhance transparency in the Nigerian markets and improve the country's global reputation in the investment community. And on the foreign scene, 8 people have died in a fire which ripped through an apartment building in a wealthy Paris neighborhood. The blaze in the French capital's high-end 16 arrondissement on Tuesday has also left at least 31 people, including 6 firefighters, with minor injuries. Around 200 firefighters battled the blaze, which started at about 1 a.m. local time and was extinguished after several hours. Firefighters described the area as a scene of incredible violence. Raver described seeing a young man in his underwear, blackened by smoke, and a woman motionless on the ground outside. An investigation had been opened into the criminal charge of causing death by arson. The area in the capital's southwest is popular with tourists and overlooks landmarks including the Trocadero, Eiffel Tower, Paris Saint-Germain's home stadium, the Parc des Princes, the picturesque Bois de Boulogne, and an array of upmarket shops and restaurants. Several streets of the chic neighborhood were cordoned off by police and fire crews. In late December, 2 women and 2 girls died from asphyxiation in a fire that broke out in a public house in Black, in a suburb northwest of Paris. In January, a gas explosion followed by a fire at a bakery which killed 4 people in the night arrondissement. And now on sports, Middlesbrough manager Tony Pulis has heaped plaudits on Super Eagles captain Mikel Obi ahead of the English Championships club's Emirates FA Cup 4th round of replay against Newport County. Mikel has made 2 appearances for Middlesbrough since linking up with the club on a short-term contract during the January transfer window, one in the FA Cup and another in the Championship. The former Chelsea midfielder was particularly outstanding in last Saturday's 3-2 win against West Bromwich Albion at the Hawthorns, and Pulis can hide the admiration for the Nigerian captain. Just before we go, a quick reminder that you can follow news and programs on ABS from many parts of the world by logging on to our website, www.absradiotv.com. Like us on Facebook at www.facebook.com/ABS Radio Television, and follow us on Twitter and Instagram at ABS Radio TV. And now the recap of our major stories. Anambra have been urged to avoid anti-peace activities to ensure free and fair elections. State government is threatening to revoke land without regularized documents. Army has repelled Boko Haram attack in Yobe. And on the foreign scene, Paris apartment fire has claimed lives and injured many. And that's the size of our package tonight. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Chidinma Orangwa. Good night.